we will have a stream tonight. Alright, last time we played Voice of Cards, so the Forsaken Maiden. And we're going to keep going on that tonight as soon as we are done with the housekeeping. Let's see. Sorry, I have my microphone right here. Okay. Hey, it's Memory Martin. Are you still on vacation? I am doing wonderful. Just chilling. No, we got home last night. My friend had to open this morning. Ooh, working retail of some kind. Oh, yeah, I have this somewhere. I'm getting back into the rhythm of it. I can get through housekeeping quicker. We will save that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun just making that trailer. Remy Martin says, I hear you. I haven't streamed in a little bit, so I have to remember how to do it Friday. Oh, you're on Friday? Awesome. Friday evening, when my friend Chrysalis said that she was going to start streaming again. She's like, yeah, I'm going to stream on Monday. And so I looked Monday evening and it said I missed the stream by 10 hours. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I didn't know you streamed in the morning. We're doing it next Friday. Yes. It should be super easy. I have wanted to stream board games for a while. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, I've wanted to stream board games for a while, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start out with a super easy one. I've already played through the game myself. I've already kind of... It's not DMing because I didn't come up with the story, but I've adminned. That's, from what I understand, that's the board game term for all the stuff you have to do like in the middle. So I have adminned this game for, I think, 3 other groups. So I'm pretty familiar with how to get through it, how to give good hints if the group needs it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start with people I know and enjoy their company and that I've collabed with before. I've collabed with all 4 of you. And we will start with that. Okay, that's everything. So yeah, I have this week and next week to come up with a suitable setup. I've already started tinkering with it. Memory Martin says, oh, I'll get to do some D&D on my birthday week. Of course, that depends on what time slot Tash puts me on. Alright. None of that, Seth. We are getting ready to start. Alright, so let's take the text away. I'm wearing my Metroid shirt tonight. I wore Chase and Scoot last week, and as soon as Memory Martin and Art of Mana get shirts, then I'll have those too. Alright, so let me jump into Discord, into the What Did I Miss channel. So last week was really me getting back into it for the first time. So things were slow. I had forgotten a lot about... Everyone says, I didn't think I have enough of a following for merch yet. Well, I'm just one. I'm not saying make a shirt just for me, but when you do get to the point where you make a shirt, then I will definitely get one. But yeah, last week was the get back on the bike. Let's see if streaming is like riding a bike. So it had been like 7 or 8 months since I streamed the Forsaken Maiden before, and I had forgotten a lot of the plot, and we kind of got it back as we were going. So that was only stream 3 of this game. We're gonna do 4 tonight. So I said we guided and watched the Blue Maiden go through the Maiden's ritual. As we predicted, the ritual is a sacrificial ritual. So by the time the Blue Maiden got done with her ritual, she was gone. It doesn't say that she died, just she couldn't come back with us. Her card disappeared. While we predicted that, we couldn't predict the reaction of the Blue Attendant being riddled with grief but showing his repressed feelings of anger towards his village and the Blue Maiden. He stayed behind, but of course, he told us about another maiden that we could visit in the west. The Blue Maiden went to the ritual willingly. I wonder if we will meet a maiden that goes against her will, or openly rebels against her duty to perform the ritual. It is heavily implied that we will need to make a choice to sacrifice Laddie towards the end of the game. If this game frames the choice like it did at the end of the first game, it will be open-ended and interesting. So next time we go west. So let's jump into the game. me get in frame here. I learned in between streams that on the loading screen, you can, any button you press will cause the deck to shuffle. So, that is that. We'll close Discord so we don't get the little beeps and boops while we are going. We will jump in to the Forsaken Maiden. So what I did in between streams is I explored the rest of the ocean. I pretty much did everything except go to a market, because I expect that the next market we come across is going to have upgraded gear. Okay, so it says your journey across the sea has taken you to the West Isle. On the West Isle, you will hear the tale of a maiden in red. Weigh anchor at the West Isle and begin the tale of the Crimson Maiden? Yes.
Very well then. Prepare to go ashore.
Alrighty. So, it took us like 5 hours to do a Maiden's Quest last time. I imagine they'll get a little longer.
Parched, russet-colored expanse greets you. The bones of weaker travelers strewn about it, as both welcome and warning.
Man, we just started and we're already passing skeletons? The Tale of the Crimson Maiden.
You dock your ship at the pier and set foot ashore. Laddie takes a deep bow in the direction of the Bon Font, as if thanking it for safely delivering everyone to land. You consult your navigation map once more to confirm your location, and resolve to head through the gorge toward Hero's Dominion.
Leave the West Isle Pier and proceed through the gorge towards Hero's Dominion. We definitely have a... Well, we had a livelier tune playing. Okay, first encounter in the new land. So we will see how much stronger the enemies are here. Let's start with a good poke. What is it? A 6 and a 7? Alright, let's do R15 against the 6. Let's see how much... Whoops. See how much Blizzard will do against him. See how hard they hit. That's a little bit more. Alright, let's see if we can knock out this guy before he attacks. Oh, there we go. Excellent. And then we will have Lack Poke for the win. Okay, so the enemies are more difficult, but not nearly something we can't handle. We were pretty over-leveled by the end of the first one because I spent so much time in between streams just exploring. So I think we will be good. Two different kinds of goblins, huh? Is that a metal bat? Oh, I thought the first one had like a twig, but that is also in the shape of a bat. Interesting. So, well, they both have the same defense, so we might as well attack the one with a higher attack. Let's see, what can we do? We could do Blizzard, but I don't think it's going to do much. Let's do Thunderbolt. And Grand Slice. We'll definitely take out the first guy. Bonk. Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's do a little healing. Yeah. And then we'll do a Thunderbolt for the win. All right.
Laddie appears to have found something on the roadside. You look where she is pointing and spot a small drawstring pouch lying on the ground.
Ooh, how suspicious.
Inside the pouch is a simple but beautiful necklace. Laddie's eyes light up at the sight of it.
Well, there is magic in this world, so that could be bad. Let Laddie wear it or leave it.
You gently place the necklace around Laddie's neck. Though she initially looks confused, when you say, "It looks nice on you," her cheeks flush slightly and she smiles.
Aww. This is one of those we're growing closer moments. And I really like that the game is doing this, because it's pretty clear that by the end of the game, our character is going to have to contribute to the decision on whether or not Laddie becomes a maiden and goes through a maiden's ritual, which will then sacrifice her. And so I like that the game has these little moments where the character we're playing as, whose name is Baron, and Laddie have these little exchanges that show that their relationship is improving and they're growing closer. So did that equip as an accessory? Set up equipment. No, not owned cards. Set up equipment. No. Wait, is that a key item? I'm so confused. Where did that go? Key items. Simple necklace. A simple but beautiful necklace worn by Laddie. And that's it. There's nothing else there. Alright. Alright.
A thief appears. The brigand points at Laddie's simple necklace and yells, "Give that back." He continues, insisting in a rather courteous tone. "That necklace was something I stole from an accessory shop in Heroes Dominion."
Don't tell us that.
As the thief would have you believe, he pilfered the bauble from the shop and then dropped it in the midst of his escape. He's been looking for it ever since. He grabs for it and tries to wrench it off Laddie's throat. You've no choice but to fight to defend your ally.
I don't know. I think we could just give it back to him. Let's see. It's not in our items. Can we run away? You see no scenario in which you might escape from this enemy. Oh man, it's gonna make us beat him up? He doesn't even have as much attack and defense as the last guy, as the enemies around here. So the game wants us to beat him up. Alright, what happens when we beat him up? Alright, we completely waste this so-called thief.
You look down at the thief, splayed flat on the ground, and say a few words of admonishment. If you take anything away from this, let it be that you should stop plying the pilfering trade. The brigand seems to regret what he's done and cries back, "Please listen. I want to return the stolen necklace to the shop I took it from."
You hand over the necklace.
You believe the thief's tears of regret are genuine, so you take the simple necklace from Laddie and hand it over. The thief bows his head deeply and then heads off in the direction of Hero's Dominion. You happen to look down and spot a dingy charm on the ground. It seems the thief dropped it as he left.
Dingy charm. A charm dropped by the thief who went to return the necklace to the accessory shop at Hero's Dominion. I wonder if we can follow up on this later. Like if we can go to the accessory shop and like show them the charm.
On the back of the charm is a child's writing. "Daddy, do your best at work."
Aw.
Kind of prone to dropping things, isn't he? You utter, somewhat flabbergasted, as you slip the charm into your pack.
Okay. Treasure chest. Money. Ugh. Whoa. Wait. That guy's abs like turn into a loincloth. I mean, it's either the loincloth is so tight that it shows every muscle underneath it, or he just has a strip of skin that's just falling in between his legs. I don't know which one is weirder, but that's what it is. Okay. Now, poke at the weird looking guy. I don't think we've had the blue mushroom thing attack yet. Oh, nice. Critical hit.
Magnificent.
Nice. Another critical. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know we're getting lucky, but it feels like we're still a little over-leveled. But that's alright. We're also rolling really good. From out of nowhere, a sweet fragrance wafts over you. You look up to see ripe fruit in the tree above. There's a reasonably sized stone at your feet. A precise pitch at the tree's bough could knock some fruit loose. Will you throw the stone? Yeah, let's throw it. Roll a 3 or 4 for a success. A 3! Your pitch strikes true, releasing a hail of fruit. You divide up and enjoy the spoils. You recover 10 health. Enemy appears. Alright, alright. We got that weird loincloth skin guy again. So we've hit a point in a lot of RPGs where I'm like, all right. Oh, nice. Straight up miss. Or I'm like, okay. Your run-of-the-mill random encounter is not engaging enough for it to be fun. Whereas this kind of turn-based fight is more engaging when you're in the middle of a boss gauntlet. And so I have often yearned for an RPG battle system where, because it swings one way or the other. Either your random encounters are not fun and your boss fights are engaging, or it goes the other way where your random encounters are engaging but it makes your boss fights just a slog. So I haven't decided. I think this strikes a good mix, but it definitely leans towards the, alright, I've had enough random encounters that I'm now over leveled, and maybe it's not the intent of the game that I would fight every battle. Maybe it's the intent of the game that I'm running from some battles. Oh, that's just mean. Defense down and then attack. Almost like they planned this. Alright, blue guy's turn. Bonk. So that's why, in my opinion, the best battle system is still Valkyrie Profile and Mega Man Battle Network. And I think Valkyrie Profile has the best battle system. There are a few other games that use that battle system. And I think excuse me, I think I have them. I have all the ones that I know about. Blue Fungo. Umbral Goblin. Alright, let's go read those. Collection. Enemies. Monsters. Alright. So, here we get information on all the monsters we've encountered. And after you fulfill a certain criteria, then you can flip the card over and get a little bit of flavor. And so, usually for monsters, it's just defeating a certain number of them, which we've done for Blue Fungo now. Oh, little Fungo, you are but a lost child. If you've nowhere to go, we'll be your friend. Friend, yes, it is best to have a friend to share the joy rather than brave life's pain alone. Oh, little Fungo, the future looks dim for your children. If you've no need for them, leave them. Yes, yes, they will rot and feed us, yes, and become the forest bed from which we grow. Oh, goodness. So Blue Fungo is a bad parent. And we haven't done Red Fungo yet. Okay. First Loser's here, and Pixel Knight is here. We are getting some backstory on some enemies that we've beaten. Goblins are superb mimics with a great love of humans. They owe their use of tools and repertoire of games to their time spent observing human activity. Goblins also attack humans and plunder their homes and villages. It's true, but who can blame them? They're simply imitating the humans they love so much. Oh, harsh. Umbral Goblin. Here we see the goblins in their natural habitat, having a game of who can hit the farthest. The first goblin heaves a ball at the second, who swats it away with a large club. Alas, the ball is now broken, deformed beyond recognition, and so the goblins venture dutifully into human territory in search of a fresh one. Oh! First loser says, "Good evening." And Pixel Knight's here saying, "Maximize." So yeah, I was just reminiscing over... I was reminiscing over RPG battle systems. And we were talking about this guy. Tell me what you guys think. A Taurus. So either this guy... And I think I see it now that we have it up close. Because when we saw him in battle, I was like, okay, this guy either has his loincloth breastplate thing on so tight you can see every muscle through it, or he just has a bare chest with muscles and a strip of skin that's just falling between his legs. And if you look real close, you can see a strap that's holding the loincloth armor that is just so tight you can see every muscle through it. So, I guess we solved that mystery, but it's still weird. Okay. Pixel Nice is playing some Star Wars The Old Republic, wrapping up some side quests before I go and become a Jedi. Knights of the Old Republic. You got to pick between those, right? You can go Jedi or Sith, if I remember right. Alright. No, not that way. Enemy appears. Alright, well, we must be going the right direction, because when we went the other way, we found a chest. So, let's do... Poke! Excuse me. Thunderbolt. Oh, off by 1! Oh, alright. We'll do a Grand Slice. That will definitely take him out. And do a decent amount to Blue Fungo over there. Good. And then after this battle, I want to show you guys something. Alright, so we'll do poke. Actually, I don't know if I can. I'll see if I can put it in real quick. Alright, Lack leveled up. Okay, so real quick, let me see if I can stream this. Pixel says, "I'm not sure. This is my first real playthrough." Okay. So let me add this. Doobie-doobie-doo. Alright, now I haven't done this before. Pixel says, "I've been doing a light side playthrough because I don't like being evil." Ooh, see, and I like playing as the evil people.
You wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the...
Okay, how does this work? So if I just... Okay.
You wake up from an uneasy...
Interesting. Okay. So we'll turn this down just a little bit. Okay, so I've been putting together a collaboration with a few other streamers. And I got so excited for it that I made a trailer for it. And so I'd like to show that now. So just trying to spread the word out there. I'm pretty excited about it.
You wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the dark, your eyes wide open. You're lying on the stone floor of a dirty cell. A dungeon? How did I even end up here? You ask yourself. Trying to remember makes your head hurt though. Feeling apprehensive, you take another look around. You can make out several shapeless shadows on the floor. There! Didn't one of those shadows just move? It's another human. Then you hear a voice. Where am I? What happened? This is followed by a groan. It sounds like someone else can't remember either. The voice sounds familiar. You can't remember anything, but one name remains clear in your foggy brain. Berengar. He is a friend. You resolve to find out what happened to you, who imprisoned you here, and above all, how to escape this dungeon.
Okay. So let me know how that went. From everything I could see, you could hear it and everything. But yeah, this game, it plays like a classic point and click adventure, but it's a board game. So I got 4 people together, and it's going to be next Friday, and they're going to play through it. But because it's like a point and click adventure game, if you're there watching, you can also make suggestions and help out the players if they get stuck. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I've wanted to stream board games for a while. This is the first time I've kind of put it together. I am. Oh, let's see. Okay, so you can see. Let me switch scenes. So you can see over in the corner that table with a camera on top. I'm trying to put together a setup where I can capture a board game. This goes over here. So I'm trying to put together a setup where I can capture a board
You wake up
game.
from an uneasy sleep and search around.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm trying to put together a setup where I can capture a board game. I was able to get a camera to go straight down on the table, but the board, after you lay out all the locations, can get kind of big, but usually you don't need to see the whole thing. You just need to see the part that we're all focusing on. So I ordered one of those, there's a kind of webcam arm that has like a metal flexible tube so that you can angle it wherever you want it. And so I got one of those in hopes that I could maneuver the camera around and get so that I can essentially zoom in and focus on the parts of the game that we're doing. So it should be a fun stream. It'll be a little experimental as I figure out the best way to stream a game like this, but I think it'll definitely be fun. So next Friday, if you can make it, I think it'll be worth it. And it also very much fits into our theme on this channel of a stream that you can put on in the background but participate in, because that narrator narrates the entire thing. The only thing you'll be missing are the visuals, which is the board. So it's something that you can just glance up and catch when you need. So I'm pretty excited about it. First Suzu says, interesting, let's play. Yes. And Pixel says, I'll be there for that stream. Also, tomorrow is my 600th day of trivia, and honestly, I'm not sure what to do. 600! And I'm guessing that's in Art of Mana's Discord, because I know I couldn't think of 600 days worth of trivia. So that's impressive. It really is.
You make your way through the gorge, its walls of russet stone towering above you. It too is littered with the bones of fallen warriors and their sandblasted blades. Unnerved, you steal only brief glances at them as you charge ahead. But you notice Laddie regards them with a certain sadness. No one says a word for quite some time. Isn't that the Dominion? Lack chirps from its resting place in Laddie's hood, breaking the silence.
Heroes Dominion.
Indeed, the gorge gives way to a large basin, at the center of which presumably lies Heroes Dominion. Laddie wipes the sweat from her brow and shuffles toward a nearby rock to sit down. Stop! That's a monster, you shout. Too late to prevent it from attacking poor Laddie. In one swift blow, a wild-eyed boy strikes the monster down. You all right? He barks, turning to Laddie. Unfortunately, it seems the enemy was not alone. More of them appear behind you, closing in fast.
Is that the Maiden?
A man's voice emerges from the helmet and suit of armor before you. Those worthy of being Maiden must never let their guard down, Lavia, it chides.
Oh, is the boy the Maiden?
I know, Gladio. I know, the boy grimaces. What luck! It appears you bumped into the Crimson Maiden completely by chance. Which would make this Gladio fellow, in all the armor, the Crimson Attendant.
Interesting. So I know the game knows this. Maiden is a feminine description. So can a boy be a maiden? Alright, I gotta look this up. Alright, here we go. Maiden definition. Maiden, a girl or a young woman, especially an unmarried one. Being or involving the first attempt or act of its kind, like the ship's maiden voyage. Interesting. So at least in the English language quick research I did, maiden is explicitly a woman, but the game has already described this boy as a boy. So it'll be interesting. And then we've got armored guy over here whose name is Gladio. And man, that is some bright red armor. I thought it was going to be the other way.
This is all terribly convenient.
I thought that the maiden was going to be in the red armor, and this boy was going to be the attendant. But then the guy in the armor spoke, and it said a man's voice comes out of the crimson armor. And it's like, all right. Looks so nice. Says, honestly, I'm tempted to do something silly or something I know no one else will really care about too much. Well, why don't you say this is Trivia Day 600? Or May 20th, 2025. 600th day of trivia. There's your trivia for the day. Something. Alright, how will you address them? Thanks for saving her, or please lend us your Maiden's Relic. So the Maiden's Relic is what we are collecting. We are collecting 4 different Maiden's Relics. We've already collected the Blue Maiden's Relic. But we'll say thanks for saving her.
Thank the duo for saving Laddie, and explain that you will have need of the Maiden's Relic, if they'd be so kind as to lend it to you.
Oh, well, it sounds like we could have said this politely or impolitely. So I'm glad we went with politely.
The Crimson Maiden appears startled by your sudden request. Apologies, but we're in a hurry, he says curtly. Apparently, a foul beast the Dominion uses for blood sport has escaped, and it has fallen to the Crimson Maiden to recapture it. Unwilling to let these two out of your sight after such a fortuitous meeting, you agree to help them track the beast down.
I wonder if the relic is that maraca-looking thing in his hand. Livia and Gladio have joined your party. And I do find it interesting that this game is just like, Lack, you're benched. Scour the West Isle for the monster the Crimson Maiden and attendants seek. Alright. Let's go check them out.
That's a miss.
Chrysalis, I almost missed it. I was so close to going to bed. Oh, you missed Lack. We just got these two in our party. And whenever we get extra people in the party, it just boots Lack. It's like, alright. And it won't let us get him back either. Okay, what skills do they have? Alright. Slice, Fire Slash, Bisecting Blade, Attack plus 20? Wow. Scorching Slash, and Carnage. Deal 25 fire damage if roll is 3 or greater. Okay, those are all... Let's see, deal damage, add 5 to own defense. Rampage. And Southern Cross. Deal attack plus 20 fire damage. Inflict fire resistance? Oh no, inflict fire resistance down. Okay, so we don't have any... They're not bringing any AoE attacks to the... Maiden of Valor. Slightly increase the chance of landing a critical strike and waterproof. Indomitable Spirit and Fireproof. Okay, okay, good, good. Nope, that's not what I wanted. More Stila.
This must be a Stela of the Isle's guardian spirit.
It looks like a very aggressive Stela. Weapons in 3 out of 4 hands. Okay, so right now we are on a quest to find a missing beast. And we've run into these two, and right now it looks like the boy is considered the Red Maiden. And the red attendant is the man in the red armor.
Fight him off.
So, we are making progress. That's good. Oh. So, Pixel Knight, I know that you are looking for new streamers. Chrysalis is also a streamer, and she streams in the daytime. So if you're looking for more daytime streamers, which I know you are, look at Chrysalis' stream. I wish I could pay more attention to it, but unfortunately, Chrysalis' stream starts at 10 in the morning my time, and I have a meeting scheduled on Mondays and Thursdays when she streams. Not that I want you to change it. I just wish I didn't have a meeting both days. Alright, let's see. Since we have so much fire damage, let's hope that some of the enemies are weak to fire. Oh yes, critical.
Magnificent.
Interesting. All right. I don't think this guy's going to be very useful. I mean, I guess... No. He's slow. I mean, his greatest asset is that he has such a high defense. Maybe that's what he's supposed to be. He is supposed to be... It's that provoke, but he's so slow. Yay, little gold nugget. Pixel9 says, I definitely want to check out her stuff, but when did I say I was looking for more streamers to watch? Hey, it's been a long time since I've streamed, so it was probably a while ago. I just know you keep an eye out for that stuff. We'll skip going into town just yet. Yeah, I almost wish I could start with a different person so that I could do Blizzard first. Alright, let's do a Magic Strike. That's right. Chrysalis plays a game called RimWorld, which I haven't heard of. I think it's PC only. But the game is a very open-ended game where it gives you a sandbox to play in. So it'll give you a series of colonists, and what you'll do and what you're trying to do is survive and thrive, and then the game will give you a series of events and quests and missions that you have to go through. And so they call it a what is it, Chrysalis? A storytelling something? Like an experience maker or a story something. I can't remember. But so we'll do Thunderbolt and that'll get it. And so I jumped in after a couple streams had started, and they had to kind of catch me up on the story as it was so far. But after knowing what's going on and what's happening next, it does suck you in a bit. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen this time. And you know, I think at the end of the last stream, we ran into a volcanic winter. So a volcano erupted and was going to blot out the sun for a while. And so we had to change what we were researching. So instead of growing plants and food outside, we had to switch to growing them inside. And like there were some people who came into our camp and were not being nice. All right, stop it. And someone's telling jokes. And so Zero is one of the colonists, and Zero's interesting because he had an eye injury. So we got him a bionic eye, and then in a fight he had his nose shattered. So we got him a bionic nose. And then in this last fight, his leg is labeled destroyed. It's not broken, it's not missing, it's destroyed. And I can only imagine what a destroyed leg would look like, but so now we're wondering what we're gonna do next. Pixel Nice says, I've had worse happen. Oh, after you might lose a leg like Zero did. Crystal says, this does not make me feel happy. Pixel Nice says, I haven't gotten everything done. That's because there's one quest I can't really complete and one I just don't want to. Then he says, I'm kidding. That was inspired by my dad, who always says stuff like, that sounds like a good time, to those awful side effects you see in medicine commercials. And Crystal says, I'm glad. That sounds like such a dad joke. Okay, enter Hero's Dominion. I just signed my husband and I up for a D&D date. What do you mean signed up for? Are you going to like a game cafe to go try it out there? All right, we have a brand new town. And I do like this. In this game, the NPCs are all face down, so you don't know who you're going to talk to. Hey, it's JT656T. Thank you for following. JT says, random survey question. Have you ever given someone a wedgie before or gotten one? I'm pretty sure all of that giving and receiving happened when I was a kid. And so yes, I've given one and received one. My dad used to call him a Melvin. I don't know why, but he would say, I'm going to give you a Melvin. And then he would give us a wedgie. Chrysalis says, yes, there's a D&D type store near us, and they have a DM there every night doing sessions. Interesting. I find that the more that I talk about board games, the more people are like, oh, you're playing board games? And you're playing board games that are narrative driven? You're just one step away from a D&D session. And I'm like, I'm aware.
The woman's eyes dart between you as she scribbles something in her notebook.
That is a big sword. And where is it? Is it stuck in the ground behind her, or does her sheath go across her butt? I am so confused at the placement of this sword. JT says, it's for a school project on sibling rivalry. A lot of people said they've done that to little brothers or sons and nephews and cousins. Yes, I think all of the wedgies that I have given or received have been in the family. Chrysalis says, as a girl, this has never happened to me. I think I'm grateful. Yeah, grateful, I think is the right word.
She who controls the information controls the fight, she says, before asking how powerful you are.
Well, then I'm not going to answer if she's just gathering information on how she's going to beat me in a fight. I'm not going to give it. You fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked the Woman in Red's flip side story. Okay, alright. We just talked to the Woman in Red. Okay. Owned cards. Collection. I think it's characters. Woman in Red, a virtuous knight who lives for combat. She never fails to return alive from the fiercest battles, which has prompted rumors of her immortality. A wearied warrior grown tired of combat, she fights with great disregard for her life, for she is searching for the perfect battlefield on which to die. Okay, I'm totally fine with this character being an NPC, because it's very often that you get this character in a medieval set RPG where you have, the honorable warrior that's just finding the perfect way to die. So I'm totally fine if you're gonna just tie all that up in one NPC. JT says, what family members did you give them to and get them from the most? I got them from my dad the most. Yeah, and I only gave them to younger brothers. I have one younger sister, and I might have given her one. But I can't remember, and even if I did, I'm not going to try to remember. One person said their dad used to lift them off the ground with wedgies. Okay, and since we have a new town, I'll bet we have new equipment that we can buy.
I'm gonna apprentice with the attendant, the man boasts. He drops to the ground and manages a mere 5 push-ups before collapsing in exhaustion.
Okay, this guy looks like a guy out of the Addams Family. with those super dark rimmed eyes, and for some reason that haircut is giving me like Adam's Family vibes. The haircut and the face. And again, this guy's with a big sword. Where is Zero? So we're obviously in the red story, and it's not surprising that the red town and the red maiden and everything is super aggressive. You know, always talking about fighting and honor and things. Pixel Knight says, "Oh, I accidentally gained some dark side points." And JT says, "Let's hear about a time your dad gave you one." He would just give him... My dad's side of the family is... They're very much a teasing family. And so... And we were very physical. My dad wrestled in high school and college, and I wrestled in high school. And so, you know, there's not a particular story that comes to mind. It was just something that he would do while he was teasing. He would tease us for a bit, and like sometimes we'd play a game, you know, like many kids. I play these kind of games with my own kids where it's just the kid likes to be chased. So the kid runs away and the parent or someone else chases them. And so we would be doing that. But, you know, if I catch my kids, it's just lift them up and tickle them. But if my dad caught me, sometimes he would give us a wedgie. You've fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked Man in Red. Okay. Collection. Characters. Man in Red. A man possessed of a rigid and ill-tempered humor. He challenges fledgling knights under the guise of guidance and repeatedly beats most of them severely. His son once dreamt of knighthood but died on a monster's claws in his first mission. He has been strict in his training of the new recruits ever since, reducing the number of dead cadets. Oh, that makes sense. Pixel Knight says, it wasn't too bad. And JT says, what do you think was the worst one he gave you? I didn't get any terrible ones. Like, he never lifted us up by a wedgie. He would just give us a wedgie and that was it. Okay, let's see who's next. Whoa.
You stepped on my foot, the man says, squaring up to you mere inches from your face. You have no memory of stepping on anything even vaguely foot-like.
What is he wearing? This looks like the mask that fencers wear. You know, like in the Olympics, the fencers wear their little mask. That looks like what he's got on his head. And then, I don't know what the deal is with the cape, but I don't think that garment is going to be helping him wield a sword that big. JT says, what about the worst one you've given your little brothers? Oh, see, and there's no way I would give my little brothers a wedgie, you know, hard enough to make them cry or anything. I would just give them a wedgie, and the worst thing they had to do is just undo it. So says, look at all those buttons. Yeah, he's got 9, 10, 11 buttons. Maybe he wears them like merit badges, like a Boy Scout. Pixel Knight says, the closest thing that happened to me was a relative would wrestle with me and my brother sometimes, but it never got too bad. Yeah, no, the worst things for me were like breaking my arm, but that was always my own fault. Like, I broke my arm playing on the monkey bars, I broke my arm playing on the trampoline, and it's always my right arm too.
You apologize profusely, hoping to avoid any trouble. "Aw, we were supposed to duke it out," he says, clearly disappointed.
Warrior in Red. Alright. I can't help myself. I enjoy reading these as they come up. What is the Warrior in Red? Characters. a professional, taciturn, and composed. He is silence itself, and ends his targets with but one thrust of his blade. None have seen his true visage, for he always wears a mask. This sounds like a luchador. Pixel9 says, I really like the red armor guy. In general, dude who is mostly in armor and can't really tell if their human characters are cool. And Crystal says, I like him too. He's got robot attendant vibes. See, do you know what he reminds me of? Is those red... what is it in Star Wars? Come on, Star Wars people. Who has either the droids or the Royal Guard that is all in red? That's what this guy reminds me of. I don't remember anything about him. Just that this is what that reminds me of. He was once a monster, a serial murderer. He is allowed to live on condition of his service to his country. His mask hides the rapturous gash that is his smile as he delights in ending life. Well, I'm glad we didn't tussle with him then. There we go. The Imperial Guards from the original trilogy are what you were thinking of. That has got to be the... yeah, that's got to be the inspiration. Okay, we got another man in red.
Still, silently praying over those whose lives were lost in the arena this day. Apparently, battles with captured monsters in the arena are quite the spectacle.
Oh, this is Frightened Woman?
There is one ferocious beast, she explains, that has vanquished every warrior to have challenged it.
Darth Maul. Nope, I am familiar with Darth Maul. Yes, Imperial Guards. Napsy's here. He says, have you tried Lorcana? I have not tried Lorcana. I have not tried Lorcana specifically because I'm not sure if I want to get into another trading card game. But I have seen the cards and the concept, and I think it looks very cool.
Watch yourself. Folks around here will use any excuse to start a fight, the woman warns you. You can't help but notice the glint of a knife in her belt.
They used this same NPC in the previous game. And I remember in the previous game, on her flip side story, it talks about her... Because the most defining feature of this character is that huge knife that she is carrying. And I remember they talk like in... I'm going to have to go look it up. But in the last game, the Kind Woman, she, it heavily insinuates that she, killed her husband with this knife. Napsy says you could still try it without getting into it. Not if I like it. I'm going to have to look that up. You fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked the Mature Woman. Okay, we gotta see if it's the same thing. And I might have to go check it right now. Collection characters. Mature Woman. Is this the second game? Yes, this is the second game. Where's Mature Woman? There she is. She has been married 4 times. Her current husband is her 4th. The happy couple live quietly together with their 1 dog. She has never once divorced. All 3 of her previous husbands went missing. Her dog, though, has never wanted for bones to gnaw. They might have done the same one. I will have to check. But I remember I found this incredibly funny when we read it in the first one. Napsy says, I have the first and the third, but I still haven't gotten very far in them. Got farther in the dragon one. Yes, I really enjoyed the dragon one. That's the first one. Crystal says she took them out with her knife. Oh, yeah. Mature woman. Oh, that is... I will look it up and in between streams. If it was something different, I'm pretty sure that's the same one. But if it was something different, I was gonna go open the game and see if it was, and see what it was. But I distinctly remember that. You know, she has this giant knife. Maiden Shrine.
The shrine yet stands, though you think it looks rather forlorn. Clearly, it has been neglected in favor of the arena.
Oh, big arena's right in the middle there. Enter arena? Sure. What do they have here?
The man eagerly awaits his turn in the ring. My quarrel is not with humans, he says gravely. You take that to mean he'll only be fighting monsters out there.
Well, that's good. Better than the guy who said you stepped on my foot.
We need the money. The kids have to eat, the woman says to herself, seeming ready to put her life on the line to win.
Woman on a mission.
No, no, I forgot my salve, the man yells in a panic.
Oh no!
A sudden calm washes over him. Oh, wait. There was a merchant back in the vestibule. What an emotional ride this man's life must be.
So mature. That face, though. Yes.
I'm not taking registrations now, the receptionist says flatly.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. I'm sure we will have a chance to fight in the arena.
The receptionist calls out to you as you attempt to open the door. Apparently, you're not allowed in yet.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get out of here. Ooh, another one.
You hear this man tell it. The last maiden was a proper hero of war. Compared to her, well, he trails off as a heavy sigh of disapproval forces its way out of him.
Okay, now, on the way here, we had an altercation with a supposed thief. Oh no, not the collection. Yeah, key items. Dingy charm. Charm dropped by the thief who went to return the necklace to the accessory shop. Okay, let's go to the accessory shop and see if we can follow up on this encounter.
Upon entering the shop, Laddie looks surprised and points at something. Following her gesture, you spy the familiar sight of the simple necklace.
So, on the way here, we picked up a simple necklace, put it around Laddie's neck, complimented her that it looked good on her, and then a thief came up and said, "That's mine," and tried to take it off Laddie, so we had to beat him up. And then when we were done beating him up, he said, "No, you don't understand. I stole this necklace from the accessory shop, and I want to return it." And so it gives us an option to give it back or not. We decide that we are going to give it back. And then he says he's going to depart for the accessory shop to take it back. So now that we get there, we can see the simple necklace. So he was telling the truth.
The owner explains that this necklace had been stolen, but then, wonder of wonders, the very miscreant who made off with it later returned it himself. Suddenly, from the back of the shop, said miscreant shows himself. The one-time thief bows his head self-consciously. Evidently, the owner took a shine to the honest thief and offered him a job working in the shop.
Well, good. Happy ending.
You remove
Yes.
the dingy charm from your pack and hand it to the man. Taking it in hand, he is so overcome with joy that he begins to weep. As it turns out, the charm was a gift from his beloved child. He had been searching for it all this time. He grips the cherished charm tightly, explaining, "I only ever stole to put food on the table for my child." The shop owner proffers something to you, calling it a thank you for helping him meet a man with such an honest heart.
You obtain gemstone ring. Gain 1 extra gem at the start of battle. Ooh, that's really good. How may I help you? All right, let's see what we got. Ring of protection. All right, I'm pretty sure we have all of these rings. Except for that one. Ring of compassion. So it's an attack buff, but I don't think we need that. Yeah, we'll be done. Item shop. Yeah, we should probably get some more Phoenix Downs. Or whatever the equivalent is called in here. Inspire Elixir. Buy more. Yeah. 2 will be enough. Let's see. Vigorant, Protectorant, Soothstone, Oil Pot. Bellwether, and a Smoke Bomb. Okay. We're good. Where's the weapons and armor shop? That's what we want. Armorer. There we go. Blade beloved by adventurers. Mercenary sword. Protector's sword. Okay. Knight's armor, frost mail, the armor of a famous admiral. Man, but wearing armor that heavy lowers your speed. I think our best bet is going to be the Protector's sword, but it really would have been nice if we could pick something up for Laddie. And equip. Who will equip the Protector's sword? I'll go here. Baron's all set. We spent most of our money. Okay. Will that be all? Yes. Alright, and then the game parlor we don't need to go to. Alright, so I think that's everything. Except for we never go through this large
A
gate.
gate stands tall before you, marred here and there by deep gouges and scratch marks. You reckon the monsters for the arena battles are kept within.
Ah, we cannot go through there. Okay. Nope, not menu. I wanted next objective. We're gonna have to leave the town in order to scour the West Isle for the monster. Okay. Alright. Let's... We're good. We're good. Alright, let's see if we can go find the monster. Alright, is the monster going to show up as a random encounter? Oh, an event. Bizrock appeared. It seems primed to explode. Roll the dice to see what it becomes after it explodes. It becomes a 2.
The Bizarre Rock transformed into a Fear Rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
Alright, let's do it. Ah, 50 defense, 10 health. Nice. Critical hit, 2 damage. Stunning blow. Nice. Maybe we can paralyze it? Good. Oh! Took a critical hit just to get 2. Alright, let's just see if we can do anything with damage. Okay, 1. Alright, and he can't attack. So let's try water damage. There we go, weak to water. Excellent. I do want to equip equipment. Now we'll leave equipment back. Victor says, really glad I decided to go back and check for stuff because now my droid has a flamethrower. What are you playing Knights of the Old Republic on? That was an old PC game. Alright, well, we've uncovered every... Aha! There's the monster. Looks like an Umbro Goblin. Oh, look! He's attacking first now. Yep. If we can attack first and get an extra gem, we can do Grand Slice, which will be really good. But in order for us to do that, we have to unequip Laddie's item. But to be honest, that might be okay. It's on Switch. Oh, okay, okay. Man, who is the publisher? Because they've been releasing a lot of Star Wars games on the Switch. There was a Star Wars game that I remember playing growing up called Jedi Power Battles. And that was one that I was like, you know, it would be fun just to pull this out and play it. Oh, complete miss. Charge. Generate 1 gem. Alright, now we can do Grand Slice. That'll take out the 2 goblins and just leave blue fungus. So we will do a heal on Laddie. Get her back up to full. And then we can have Crimson Maiden here. Take out the last guy. Alright. So we found the beast. We talked to all the NPCs. So now let's do that equipment. Because let's see, equipment, Laddie. So we want the Ring of Life to be swapped out for the Gemstone Ring. Now, this is a short-term move. A little bit earlier in the stream I was talking about how, you know, you can prepare for the Whoa,
You
there's
find a
more than one.
beast lurking in the shadows of the valley. But it does not appear to be the one that the Crimson Maiden is searching for.
Oh, well, that's just
It
mean.
glares at you. Seems you're not getting out of this without a fight.
So you can prepare for the random encounters, or you can prepare for the boss fights.
Fight him off.
So what we're doing is we're preparing for the random encounters. Now... because that accessory that I did gives us an extra gem at the beginning of the battle, but it's only worth it if you have lots of beginnings of battles. Which, when you're doing a boss fight, you only have one beginning of the battle, so it really doesn't matter as much. Alright, so we've got a 2 added onto our 17, and we'll deal this as fire damage. These Umbral Goblins are... oh, come on! Pitiful. Alright, so this should take out this guy. Laddie's our only healer right now. Oh, with the critical. So...
Magnificent.
maybe I should put the self-heal back on this guy. Ooh, another critical. Well, to be honest, we can just use some salve. Quality salve. Actually. Yeah, it's our last one. May as well. I used to be one of those guys when playing an RPG that was always like, you know, I'm not going to use my consumables. I'm going to wait until I need them. Oh, yep, that was actually all we needed. We'll do a heal anyway on this guy. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? We're just going to... ooh, we're just going to critical again. We're just going to use the consumables as we need to and not worry about it. Oh, okay. So that was essentially a mini-boss. Laddie leveled up. Okay, so who cares about this guy?
Keep slipping. Gladio hisses at Lavia as soon as the final blow's been struck. Sorry, Lavia shoots back and resumes scanning the area for monsters.
Ah, so this little quest here is to show us a little bit of backstory between Lavia.
You come across an open-air stall. A sign reads, "Goods bought here."
Give the stall a closer look? Yes.
As you peer into the stall, its proprietress calls out to you. "This is an exchange shop. We'll pay good money for whatever you have. But this determines the price," she continues, revealing a die in her hand.
The price at which you can sell changes with the dice's pips. 1 to 3 is wholesale, 4 to 5 is a 20% premium, and 6 is a 30% premium. I don't even know. Okay, so what this is doing is I can sell things back for the same price I bought them at. Usually that's not what happens in an RPG. Usually when you buy something and if you sell it back, then you get just a portion of it. Because you can buy quality salve for 25 and spare elixir for 200, but that's alright. I guess I could sell some of these. Ring of Compassion. Oh, we do have a Ring of Compassion. Alright, we don't need the Ring of Protection. Deal. We don't need the sword anymore. And we don't need the glaive anymore. So it's nice to sell our equipment back at a wholesale price. The knight's armor. Yeah, we're not gonna need it. Yagni. Okay. Because yeah, the last time we ran into one of these, it was a merchant doing a fire sale.
Finished buying for the day. The proprietress begins closing up shop, and you go on your way. You find a beast huddled in a small burrow in the rock wall. Nevertheless, it is not happy to have an intruder
All right.
and attacks.
So these are kind of like mini boss fights. This is one of those where we're gonna have to just beat all the mini bosses. Aha! There we go. First move, Grand Slice. That's a good opener. Nice. All right, let's do a Thunderbolt. Critical hit. Pixnai says, I do wish I knew the strategy of not leveling up as much before you become a Jedi. You get so much more Force stuff. Wind down? Oh, he's more vulnerable to wind attacks. That's alright. We want everyone to attack him. He has by far the largest defense. That's his whole shtick.
Fortune favors the bold.
He also heals at the end of every battle. Just something small, like 4. But he also has this Provoke, which I'm assuming means that all enemies will attack him. But, yeah, he just doesn't... Alright, let's see if we can... So we'll hit them both. Nice. Oh, with a critical. So we took them both out. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, you can see big red armor guy. I am really interested in how they're going to play. Alright. Oh, I thought for sure we were getting more dialogue. Enemy appears. Maybe it'll be one enemy. We can run a heal on our big armor guy. 2. Ooh, +3 attack for everybody.
Fight him off.
Alright. Our opener will be heal. Get out of here. Ha! Suspicious user. Yeah. It's probably because every time they jump into a chat, they immediately get banned. Okay, Grand Slice. Nice. And we'll do Slice to finish him off. I think Twitch should have that pretty much figured out. If a user jumps into a chat, posts one thing and gets banned 6 times in a row, You could probably just ban that guy. Make it so that he can't chat. Okay, so this will be the third one that is not the one we're looking for. And then we will find some other random enemy that we are looking for. Let's do Grand Slice. I really like opening with Grand Slice. Boom, that's why. Thunderbolt. And then we can have... Fight Slash. And we're done. So, it could be interesting to see, because the dynamic between the last maiden and attendant is that they were lovers. But this time, the maiden and the attendant's relationship is a little bit more like antagonistic. The attendant, the guy in the armor, keeps correcting the maiden. And he didn't seem to appreciate that.
You find a beast and immediately raise your sword to it, but it does not so much as flinch. Upon further inspection, it looks like a falling rock or something has crushed the poor creature's life right out of it.
Chrysalis says, and you said the maiden was a boy. Yes!
It's dead, Lavia says flatly.
Lavia.
Lack and Laddie suddenly exhale, hands pressed to their chests in relief. Gladio, sensing an imminent threat, tells everyone to be on their guard.
Gladio's the big guy in the red armor.
The clanking of heavy chains precedes the appearance of a massive beast. Blood drips from the iron hammers clutched in its fists. The party grips their own weapons ever tighter, fighting their own looming sense of fear.
So right before you came in the stream, Chrysalis, we ran into these two red guys. Ooh, 130. We are in a boss fight. Happenstance triggers each turn during this battle. Immediately gain 2 gems. Excellent. We actually gained 3. Alright, let's start things off with a Thunder Strike. So, we run into these two. Nice. His flesh loincloth is creepy. Were you here for that part? I brought that up when we ran into this guy the first time.
Work makes the dream.
Oh, he resists lightning? Dang it. Alright, well, there's not much point in using Thunderbolt then. But yeah, we run into these two, and it specifically describes this guy as a boy. But then, so I thought that this was the attendant, and then, let me do... Attack plus 20 if roll is 5 or greater. Well, I'm rolling a d10 or a d6? A d10, okay. Okay, we got it. So I thought the maiden was was inside the suit of armor, but it said that a man's voice came out of the suit of armor. And I was like, okay. So I specifically looked up, I have maiden definition on a different tab. I stopped and looked up maiden, and the definition is a young girl, usually unmarried, or to do something for the first time, like the maiden voyage of a ship. So, just charge. So, but it wouldn't surprise me if in this game, Maiden is a title. yes, they have specifically described the Maiden as a boy. So I had to go and check that. Chrysalis says, oh really, I didn't hear it. I joined, but was still running around a bit. In this world, it seems to be a specific title. Yes. So yeah, and then the other thing about this ugly guy... Let's try... Let's do Magic Strike. Yeah, the other thing about this guy, the first time we ran into one, I was like, okay, either that guy has a loincloth that is being pulled so tight that you can see all of his muscles through it, or he has this strip of flesh that's just falling in between his legs that looks like a loincloth. Deal 25 fire damage if roll is 3 or greater. Let's do that one. Come on, 3. Oh, we got a 2. And we missed. What a bummer. Ouch. Ooh. Oh, that's not good. Let's use quality salve on Laddie. Crystal says maybe he just lost a bunch of weight and he's working out. Good for him. Add 3 to all allies' recovery rate. Oh, good, good, good. So we actually specifically opened up the menu and looked at the card. And it specifically... you have to look really close. But you can see that there is a strap that is tying this apron-looking thing and holding it so tight that you can see every muscle through it. Alright, so we'll do a quick heal. But yeah, the first time we ran into this guy, I was like, oh no, that's a flesh loincloth. That's weird. Alright, let's deal fire damage. I can't remember if this guy's weak to fire or not. Ooh, but getting a 6 is great. Okay, so he's not weak to fire. Okay. I think we can take him out before he gets another turn. Alright, so in order to do that, let's lower his defense. Oh, nice, with a critical hit. Yeah, we've got this. Bam!
Magnificent.
Alright, and all of our strikes will hit. So let's do an air thrust. 2, not bad. That should do it. Nice, nice. Baron leveled up. Oh, learned Flame Rush. Deal 2 times fire damage. Okay, that might be good if we get some people who have...
The Maiden launches one last attack as his attendant strikes the beast with the pommel of his sword. At last, the feral fiend falls silent.
I wish they would capitalize the M. If Maiden is going to be a title, they should capitalize the Maiden.
Lack and Laddie break out into a round of applause, which Levia greets with a smile.
Levia.
A playful swipe of his nose. We're not done, Gladio reminds the party.
So Levia is the Maiden, Gladio is in the armor.
He binds the beast in chains, hoists it up with one hand, and carries it back toward the Dominion.
With one hand?
You never did get to ask about the Maiden's relic in the end. You follow them back to Hero's Dominion, in hopes of rectifying that oversight.
I really doubt that we're just going to get to borrow the Maiden's relic. The relic is reacting to Levia's bravery. Crimson Maiden's relic. Oh, nice. Extra +2 to attack and +1 to speed. Crimson Maiden's relic transformed into Crimson Memories relic. Make your way to Hero's Dominion. Okay, we can do that. Calling it here, Gladio is the Maiden's parent. Could be. Yeah, were you guys all here at the end of the previous stream? Because at the end of the previous stream, we watched...
Okay, hold up. You have to return...
We watched the Blue Maiden go through the Maiden's ritual, which of course sacrifices the Maiden. So we predicted that, but we didn't predict the attendant getting like super emotional about it. And it wasn't just like he was... It wasn't like he was like, you know, just sobbing over dramatically. Pixel says I read the recap you posted. Oh, good. We were talking about that yesterday in Chrysalis's stream. I said I write a recap of the stream. I don't know if anybody reads it, but it helps me, especially if there's a long time in between streams. But yeah, Pixel. So Chrysalis, if I think if you type !Discord in the chat, it will bring up a link to the Discord if you want to join my Discord. It might show you, it might give you some ideas of what to put in your Discord. Ugh, did it not do anything? What is it? ! Socials, ! Links. One of those will bring up an all my links.
Magnificent.
Or a link tree. Oh man, it's been too long. I don't even know how to promote my own stuff. Let's see. There it is. All my... Wait, does that even work? All my links? Oh, it does. Okay. So yeah, if you click on that, it brings you to a page that has links to all of my social media. But what you want is the top one. Oh, okay, good. But if you jump in the Discord, you can see there's a What Did I Miss channel. And you can read everything in there. And that's what was so interesting, because last time, and I know I had a lot of fun with Pixel Knight as we were playing the previous game in the series, because just crazy one-off stuff kept happening. And we had one of those at the end of the last stream where...
Fight him off.
Discord is so nice. I'm going to use it as inspiration to build mine up. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping you would find useful about it. Let's do heal on the Maiden. But yeah, after the Maiden sacrifices herself, the attendant, which their relationship was that they were lovers, he has this like evil maniacal laughter with this really ugly look on his face. And then he goes on to tell us how much he hated his village and the Maiden. But as the conversation went on, it was pretty clear that this was, you know, some deep repressed feelings that he was going through. Oh. And really, he was genuinely just torn up about what had just happened. So I wonder if we will see each maiden go through the Maiden's ritual Or perhaps in there's some way where we just get asked to borrow the relic and the maiden just gives it to us. Which I think is unlikely, but... Ooh, Taurus is... Oh, that's the guy! That's Flesh Loincloth. Okay, so we want collection, monsters... Taurus. Clang, clang, clang. The orc looks up from his smithing and briefly wonders just how long he has been at his craft. Long enough to have a reputation, anyway. He continues pondering. How much blood have his weapons spilled? War begats weapons, begats war. A vicious cycle. He lowers his head. That's enough thought for now. Clang, clang, clang. Wait, so is he... I wonder if this is a bug, and this is supposed to be on a different monster, but he is wielding two hammers. It's just weird that it says the orc looks up from smithing. I mean, I guess Tauros could be an orc. You can see his ties. It's so tight. Yes, yes, you can barely see them. Inspect. Yep. This is what we had to do. And you can just barely see. Oh, of course. I put in the command right before the bot. No, come on. Okay, so right before we go in here, I want to play this trailer again. For a stream that's coming up next Friday. That I'm excited about. So let me get out of here and just play this one more time.
You wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the dark, your eyes wide open. You're lying on the stone floor of a dirty cell. A dungeon? How did I even end up here? You ask yourself. Trying to remember makes your head hurt though. Feeling apprehensive, you take another look around. You can make out several shapeless shadows on the floor. There! Didn't one of those shadows just move? It's another human. Then you hear a voice. Where am I? What happened? This is followed by a groan. It sounds like someone else can't remember either. The voice sounds familiar. You can't remember anything, but one name remains clear in your foggy brain. Berengar. He is a friend. You resolve to find out what happened to you, who imprisoned you here, and above all, how to escape this dungeon.
All right, so again, promoting my first board game stream, which is going to happen next Friday. And I've got 4 buddies that are going to play through a game called The Dungeon. So yeah, if you can make it then, I think it'll be really fun because it plays like an old point-and-click adventure. Which means that if you... Oops. So if you're following along, you can, help them solve puzzles if they get stuck and whatnot. So that'll be next Friday. Pixel says, these 2 enemies are much stronger than me. Like, kill my entire party in seconds level of stronger. Alright, back to Heroes Dominion.
Heroes Dominion. A place so renowned, stories of it reached you across the vast sea. The cries of powerful warriors pierce the air, though it's impossible to tell if they're cries of joy or pain.
Chrysalis says, that's so awesome. I will enjoy watching that, but I will not give them any clues since I played it already. That's right. I mentioned earlier that one of the reasons I wanted to start with the dungeon is I'm so familiar with it. I've played it. I've run the game for a few groups. Chrysalis was in one of those groups with her husband. And so it'll be a good one to experiment with how I'm going to stream a board game. I have to build a new setup so that we can see. So instead of capturing the game through a capture card, I have to be able to set up a camera rig so we can see the board game. So I think it'll be a good one to experiment on. And then we can go from there.
Lavia informs you that
Yeah,
the domain
next Friday.
attracts all manner of warriors who long to prove their strength in battle. There are even more than usual, he says, thanks to the tournament that's due to begin soon.
Tournament? We're going to do a tournament arc? We are so in the middle of an anime right
The
now.
party makes their way to the arena, eager to return the captured monster to its cage.
Next Friday is in the 30th. Yes. I had a lot of fun just like making that trailer. So that trailer is actually on my YouTube channel, on the Seth Haskell Live YouTube channel. And so yeah, I just had fun putting that together. I found that I miss making videos a little bit more than I thought since it's been such a long time. But I made a YouTube short, and then I made this trailer, and then yeah, it's just been fun. I do want to go through and make a recap of the story of Zero and myself playing through Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana. But that's gonna take a while because I'm gonna have to go through all the streams and find all the good parts. More of a highlight reel is what I want to make. Proceed to the arena. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go to the inn first, since we've already been here.
The innkeeper challenges you to an arm wrestling match in lieu of any greeting. You handily defeat her.
I hope so. She is the only NPC that's using the same card as other NPCs.
She then informs you that strong warriors such as yourself
Aha!
rent rooms free of charge. You and your party can stay however often you'd like.
She must be run out of business.
Away. You're fairly certain you hear her bitterly complaining that she's yet to win a single match, and that her business is doomed.
I love it when a game does that. When I am thinking something and then it acknowledges it immediately. So I'm like, oh, there's no way this woman is beating anyone in this town to an arm wrestle. And as you walk away, you hear her complaining that she hasn't won a single match. That is so good. Crystal says, I'd love to do that for my YouTube channel too. I've accepted that's where I'm at. I can upload full streams and not do much more, and that's okay. Maybe in the future I can have some awesome edited videos. Yep. What I would say is wait until you have like if you're gonna play RimWorld, wait until you have like an epic story. But this is another reason why I have the What Did I Miss channel, is when I want to go back and look for a highlight in my stream, I have two ways of finding it. First is the marker hotkey. And what that does is it changes the background. So I have kind of like a light mode and a dark mode. And so I can hit Control-Shift-M on my keyboard and it will change the background like this. And so what that does for me is when I'm looking back through the stream, I can find all the places where the background has changed, and that tells me that something funny or interesting happened right then. I specifically marked it for that. And then I can go through the What Did I Miss channel in my Discord, and that I will write out what the highlights of the stream were and if there was anything interesting that happened. So if you go back and you read all the entries I made on Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, you'll see like me writing, you know, we fought this really hard random battle, and you know, Zero and I argued about whether you should open every treasure chest or not, and things like that. So I have a bit of an idea of what I want to go back and find, and I have a shortcut way of finding it. But I didn't have that the first time through. The first time I wanted to make a highlight reel of a stream, I was playing Castlevania, and I didn't have any of those tricks, so I just had to rewatch. I had to like put it on in the background when I was working and just kind of rewatch it. Little things that come with experience. Okay, we are in the arena. We're going to the receptionist. And Pixel Knight finally got the 2 enemies that are stronger than him.
Gladio drops the monster in front of the reception desk with a wet, meaty thud.
Gross.
I felled it, Lavia says without hesitation. I expected nothing less, the man behind the desk says with a hearty laugh. It quickly becomes clear, however, that this compliment was intended for Gladio.
Oh!
Lavia chafes, but at least the beast has been returned. The party makes its way back out of the arena.
Man, so we are in company of a maiden who's a boy, who's just like not appreciated by his village. Leave the arena. Okay. Pixel Knight, I just barely survived long enough for the cutscene to happen, and it killed them for me. So was that the point of the battle? Was just to survive long enough? Because that would make more sense. Okay, I'm pressing down on the D-pad. Why am I going left?
What's a runt like you come to the arena for? The warriors sneer in Lavia's direction. His blood clearly boiling. Lavia spins around on a heel and raises his fist. Say that one more time, he shouts.
Careful, she's got a sword sheath right behind her butt.
Fists raised and eyes locked. You can see they'll come to blows any second now. You reckon Lavia's no match for his opponent and decide to intervene on his behalf.
A fight breaks out. What will you do? Look to Laddie? Draw the warrior's attention or throw a punch? Don't get yourself hurt. You call out and the warrior throws a flurry of fists. You rear back, your muscles tightening. I don't know. I like the mechanic of tugging on a card. Don't get yourself hurt. Laddie's eyes seem to say, wouldn't. Thankfully, you. I'm not getting the outcome. Throwing a punch just says I throw a punch. Look to Laddie is just doing a warning. I think draw the warrior's attention is the best option.
You call out, and the warrior throws a flurry of fists your way. Thankfully, you anticipated this would happen and managed to dodge them cleanly.
Okay. Time for the next attack. What will you do? Okay. Punch like your life depends on it. Look to Lack. You glance over at Lack, whose finger is buried in its nose. I don't think that's going to be helpful. Continue drawing the warrior away. The warrior's meteor fist flies towards your abdomen. Okay. You punch like you've never punched before. Punch after punch connects. Okay. I want to look to Lack just because it looks funny. Yes, sneak peek in the cards. Pixel Knight says, I assume yes. Okay, good.
You glance over at Lack, whose finger is buried in its nose. Rude. Seeing that you're preoccupied with rage, your opponent lands a healthy blow. Enough, Gladio barks by way of intervention.
Gladio's the guy in armor. Can't do anything about your handler, can ya? Weaklings like you don't belong in the Dominion.
Despite picking the fight in the first place, the warriors show no interest in going up against the attendant. They slink off, complaining bitterly as they do so.
Pixel Knight thinks that Gladio is the parent. I'm sticking with Gladio is actually the Maiden. And the Maiden is going to end up sacrificing herself. So a man's voice is coming out of the armor. I think we have one of those, girl who pretends to be a man so that she can get, I don't know, respect or something. But there are female warriors all over in this town. I don't know what the twist is going to be, but I still got my money on Gladio is a girl inside the giant armor. Wait, no, it's actually damage them enough. Oh, a damage them enough kind of battle. Crystal says, could Gladio be the relic? So the relic we've already seen. It's the weapon held by Levia. That's what we're trying to get. So I don't think, like, Gladio's armor is the relic. But I'm expecting some kind of twist.
By all accounts, Levia endures rather crude treatment, despite being a maiden.
See, and the reason that I'm thinking this is, what if Gladio is a girl, and, like, a small girl, but she fights really well, and, like, the people in the village just treat her cruelly because she's a small girl. But if she wears this big armor and fights well in it, then and pretends to be a man.
You snap out of your thoughts.
But we'll see.
Gladio turns and thanks you for aiding in the monster's capture. He tells Levia to show you to the inn, as if to suggest everyone could use a rest after that fight, and takes his leave.
Gladio was removed from the party. Okay. Head for the inn. Alright, let's do it.
You arrive at the inn, eager to rest. You mention to Levia once more what brings you to the West Isle. You speak of the current state
There's the
of
relic.
Omega Isle, and how the Maiden's relics are key to saving the island.
Okay, so just a little recap. Our character is from Omega Isle, which does not have a maiden. We ran into Laddie at the beginning of the game, and she cannot talk. And she obviously is supposed to slot in as Omega Isle's maiden. Now that I'm looking at the Crimson Memories relic, it does have that big shape. You can see it in the corner of Levia's card. In the lower left corner of Levia's card. And so we're assuming that... Oh, and we were told to go collect the 4 Maidens' relics in order to save our island. We're assuming that the 4 Maidens' relics will then allow Laddie to become a maiden, and then she can perform the Maiden's ritual to save Omega Isle.
Levia hears your tale in full, only to politely decline your entreaty.
That makes sense.
He pauses for a moment, lost in thought. I'm not the maiden, he confesses rather abruptly.
Oh, knew it! How will you respond to this confession? You're not? Then why do you have the relic? Yeah, then why do you have the relic?
Helpfully explains that since Levia is not an official maiden, his relic is no more than an ordinary weapon, and therefore of no help to Laddie.
Okay. Ooh, this goes back to Chrysalis's theory. Maybe Gladio is the relic. Because Because yes, Crimson Memory's relic is just a weapon. But then where's the maiden?
He explains that while it's true he was born into a long line of maidens, he has not been recognized as the maiden on account of being a man.
That makes sense.
That his mother, the previous maiden, fell in battle, and he has simply been named as maiden to fill the role in the interim.
Yep, that's weird.
Livia, his confession complete, bids you farewell and walks off.
Yeah, Crystal says no wonder he gets no respect. No respect.
Clearly, the maiden's circumstances are as varied as the islands on which they live.
Because yes, when we did the Blue Maiden story, everyone loved the Blue Maiden. She was very popular, and everyone was sad but expectant to see her go. Livia was removed from the party. Lack is eligible for battle. Her Crimson ally sought power enough to secure her legacy. Laddie gains memories of friendship. That night, speak with your compatriots at the inn.
Laddie sits in the chair, head bobbing in a desperate, if futile, struggle against sleep. She's no doubt exhausted from all the fighting. Lack floats in the air, its mouth gently opening and closing. You presume it to be asleep. You lift your hands close to its ear and clap once with vigor. Explosions! Help! We're all gonna die! It shrieks, shooting even further into the air.
So one point about Lack. Lack claims to be a spirit, and Lack is the one that sent us on the quest for the 4 maiden relics. So this could all just be a scam by Lack. You know, we could get all 4 relics, take them back, and then Lack, you know, does something else with them. You know, maybe he takes all 4 weapons and turns into the final boss, or whatever the case may be. But if you go back and if you go back to the beginning of the game when we find Lack, it's clear that his claim of being a spirit is not 100% authentic, or that at least there should be some doubt cast upon it. Even though I think he looks like a ghost with a conductor's baton.
Everyone is plainly spent from a day of fighting. The time has come for rest. Enter the maiden's match with me, Livia blurts out nonsensically, barreling into your room.
How will you respond to Livia's request? Yeah, what's the maiden's match?
It's a special tournament, and it starts soon, Livia explains breathlessly. As it happens, they'll select the next maiden from the winners.
Interesting. Interesting. So a maiden really is... Well, no, it's more than just a title, because like he said, he was born into the lineage of the maiden. So a maiden is a title, but it appears that while the title is usually passed down through a lineage, a town can select their own maiden and bestow them with the title.
A fitting festival for the might-obsessed hero's dominion, you think? But will they actually recognize Livia as the next maiden if he wins?
Yes, and do what?
Livia says he simply wants to win the tournament and gaze smugly at all the people who've called him weak over the years.
Then why not just let him be the maiden if they might pick a boy anyway?
think back on how the citizens of the Dominion treat Levia. How hard he works at a dangerous occupation, yet receives no respect for it. You can hear the pain of it in his voice every time he speaks.
So yeah, if you look at the bottom left of Levia's card, you can see that bulbous-shaped hilt of his sword.
All right, it's a deal, you say. Besides, fighting people from all sorts of different places sounds like fun. When does it, you begin? But Levia cuts you off with an excited, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The sun is dazzling on this, the morning of the tournament. The clanking of blades echoes all around you. Let's get to reception quick, Levia chirps as he joins you en route to the arena.
So is it just going to be Baron and Levia, or is it going to be the whole party? Baron, Levia, and Lack? Or Baron, Levia, and Laddie? Head to the... Okay. So we register for the tournament, and it looks like it's going to be the whole party. So it's probably going to have Laddie in it as well. Yes. So we're going to probably need to change up our equipment for more pseudo-boss fights. So the gemstone ring... We want... Actually, you know what? That's okay. Yeah, let's go to skills. And let's put self-heal. Yep, let's put self-heal instead of air thrust. And then... yeah, let's do charge spell instead of magic strike. Okay. And then... okay. Okay, let's do it, let's do it. I think he might just be considered a brat. That's why they don't want him to be the maiden. I couldn't tell. I feel like the way that they were telling the story, it made it seem like he was the son of a warrior who fell in battle. And that's why they didn't care for him. Like, his lineage is now, you know, son of a disgraced warrior who fell in battle, and he himself has not, like, outdone that. Crystal says, yeah, makes sense. And also a weakling, maybe like the maiden to be, maybe they like the maiden to be someone strong, even if it is a woman. Pixel Knight says, there's a character here. He's basically a little brown Yoda, same species and voice even. Oh, okay, so we're ready. We've saved the game.
Here to pick up a few scars? The man behind the desk asks with a smirk. He begins explaining the rules of the Maiden's match. Participants register in pairs,
Okay.
taking on the roles of maiden and attendant as they fight. Once you're registered, you can go wait in the vestibule, the man explains, gesturing at the far door.
Which one is the far door? This one, okay. Okay, so I will be playing Maiden Attendant.
Think you're doing? The Crimson Attendant's voice stops you in your tracks. Let's go, Levia says as he runs through the door, perhaps presuming that Gladio has no business dictating what he can and cannot enter.
Ooh, Gladio. That.
Immature brat, Gladio sighs, his helmet hiding his expression from view.
There's a point for Pixel Knight. I think he might be considered a brat. Yep, immature brat, Gladio sighs.
Even so, you detect a note of worry rather than fury in his voice.
Okay. Okay. Maybe another point for the parent theory? Check with your compatriots in the vestibule and prepare for the battle. Oh, look, there's even an item shop here.
I'll go easy on you, the woman says, brimming with confidence.
Oh, Laddie's here too? I guess that would make sense.
The man's knees knock together. You reach out to him, concerned. Don't mind me. This is all excitement, he barks, sweating.
Okay.
We'll show 'em all, Lavia shouts, psyching himself up for the fight.
First round is about to begin. All warriors to the battlefield.
The leader's voice echoes off the stone walls of the lobby. Onward to battle.
Proceed through the vestibule door to the battlefield. Okay.
Laddie seems to be in good spirits. You imagine she'd say, "This ought to be fun."
I wish she had a card that had a smile on her face. Although I do like this card that has lack, you know, just like perched on the shoulder of her hoodie. I don't know what that is.
You know we're going to fight, don't you? You ask. Laddie turns pale. Clearly, she misunderstood what kind of tournament this was.
Ah. All right. Bye. Yeah, let's get a couple of these. And we should be good for now. Yeah. Will that be all? Leave. Okay. Alright, let's do it. We're in a tournament arc? Oh wait, Laddie's here with us? On the west side, we've some warriors from another land, eager to earn the title of Maiden. Warriors from another land. Yeah, I guess this town doesn't really care about the heritage of the Maiden so much as the Maiden being a very strong, powerful warrior. On the east side, a band of warriors with our weak Maiden, and the pride of the Isle at its center. There'll be no aid for you if you get hurt, mind. Yeah, no respect. Give your worth to the Crimson Spirit.
Time to show these jerks what you can do.
Let the first battle begin. I thought we were in a pair. What the heck? Oh. Right off the bat. Just everyone take 3 damage. Okay. Let's do Blizzard. Let's just see if water is going to do 8 and 10. Okay, so we should be killing the girl first. Attack plus 20. Come on. Oh. Okay, 2 defense. Would have been if the warriors from another land where it's the first game's trio. Oh, that would have been interesting. Yeah, if they took the party from the first game and brought them here. Alright, let's do a heal. And then let's do a stab. Alright, and then here, we don't have to do bisecting blade. 19 with a defense of 10, so we should do a minimum of 9 damage. Okay, so that'll take out the girl. Ooh, extra attack. Okay, so we gotta go on the offensive this turn. Everyone attacks. We'll start with Thunderbolt, and then we'll do whatever the smashing blow or something is. Ooh, weak to lightning.
Favors the bold.
Stunning blow, that's right. And if we get lucky, we can paralyze him. Oh, with a critical hit! This might just take him out. Boom! We win! Okay, so why do I get the feeling I'm calling it? After we win the tournament, everyone's gonna say it doesn't count. You had 2 attendants. You were only supposed to fight in a pair, and you guys fought in a trio. Unbelievable! Our weak Maiden's troop has done it. How long will fortune smile upon them, I wonder? Okay, did we heal? Yes, we are fully healed.
Lavia wipes the sweat from his brow as you approach. You greet him, and he leaps back with a yelp. Don't sneak up on me like that, he snaps, with no small amount of embarrassment. Ah, youth. Awkward youth.
Bristol says, yeah, why are you guys cheating? Yeah, we don't need Laddie. At least I prepared for her not to be included. So we know, at least I get the feeling that the last round is going to be against Gladio. On the west side, our own battle-tested soldiers. Victory is all but assured, they tell us. Okay, these guys are fighting in a trio. Okay? So we're not the only ones fighting in a trio. On the east side, the lucky victors of the previous match, starring our very own Maiden. There's little time, or there's still time to run, you know. God, they really are jerks. Prove your worth to the Crimson Spirit. Let the second battle begin. So yeah, we're going to do this, and then the next battle we'll have Gladio in the party. Maybe it's just Gladio. And then maybe we'll be in the same position Pixel Knight was in, where we're not supposed to be able to beat Gladio, and we're just supposed to damage him enough or survive a certain number of turns or something crazy.
And fight.
Alright, and we start with the customary everyone takes 3 damage. Alright, let's do Grand Slice, just to see how much damage we'll be inflicting. Okay, about 14 to each person. That's pretty good. Let's do Charge Spell. Attack +3 fire. Oh, I can't do Carnage. We don't have Gladio in the party. Because I have 4 gems, but... Attack +4 fire damage to all enemies. Yeah, let's do it. Although they're probably all resistant to fire, aren't they? No, that was good. Okay, okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's right. I resist attack and defense modifiers. Ooh, Imperial Guardsman is going to raise his own attack. And everyone gets their attack raise. Our priority immediately changes to taking out Imperial Guardsmen. Oh, and we rolled a 1! No! Okay, we can do it. We can do it. Thunderbolt. 15. What is it? Plus 4? 6. Don't you dare. Oh, he's going to get to attack now. (22 to 12). So 10. Oh, see, nope. It's not gonna work. Alright. Well, I guess we'll take out the healer then, since we're not going to be able to get the damage dealer. Okay, I'm still feeling pretty good about this turn. Don't hit the Maiden. Ooh! Oh! No! We lost him!
Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer. So we could do a heal that would restore 10 health. If only we didn't take that damage. Looks so nice to say I have a lightsaber now. Okay, if there's a 50-50 shot, if we could attack with attack plus 20, that would take out the Imperial Guard. Or, if we do attack plus the value of a dice. 19. Okay, so this one is guaranteed it will take out the smaller guy. Let's do this one first. I went with blue because it was fitting for my character. This might be a mistake. We might have needed to take out the other guy, but we only had a 50% chance of taking out the other guy.
Magnificent.
Alright, who's he going to attack? Oh, he's gonna buff again! This might be the opening we needed. No, we did not want defense for everybody. No, no, no. Yeah, there's not really a point to healing. Yeah, this is our best bet. Oh, nope, I forgot. Everyone got a buffed to defense. Okay, bisecting blade. If this connects, I think we win. Come on. 5 or higher. 7! Yes! Oh, that was close. The weak Maiden's team continues their steady advance. Surely their luck has run out by now. Okay, we're definitely saving the game before we do the third fight. Okay. Data. Save. Okay.
If we win this next fight, that's it, Lavia says in quiet awe.
Yep.
Let's wipe those smug looks off everyone's faces, you say by way of encouragement? Yeah, Lavia shouts in response. The ringleader announces the final battle. There's no
I'm
turning
curious.
back now.
The people that we already fought.
The man hangs his head in
Oh,
shame,
yep.
having lost in battle. For reasons beyond your understanding, his legs are still shaking. I went easy on you, the woman says, remaining strong even in defeat.
Yeah, well, you said you were going to. So, what does Laddie say?
Buckle up, Buttercup. Lack shouts for some reason at Laddie, who is drained from the consecutive battles.
Okay, and we are healed, right? Okay, good. Alright, let's do it. Final battle. I knew it.
Who else should be waiting for you in the final round but the Crimson Attendant? Despite this being a team event, he's battled his way to the final round all by himself. Do your worst, he bellows, striking an intimidating pose. Don't need to tell me twice, Lavia barks back, gripping his sword for dear life and fixing his gaze upon his attendant.
Chrysalis goes, oh, Le gasp.
This fight won't be anything like the others.
This will be interesting. Because his attack is not that good. You know, of course, we have to fight him in boss form. Yeah, his attack got bumped. This is exactly the meme of, oh, when the final boss is on your team, you know, super wimpy. But when you're fighting against him, super buff. Because when he was on our team, his defense was 17, his attack was 19, and his health was like 33. Now his health is 100, his defense has gone up to 18, and his attack has gone up to 25. So, with 25 attack, he is going to be doing a minimum of 15 damage to each person that he attacks. Our best bet is going to be Stunning Blow to see if we can paralyze him. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this guy is immune to paralysis and any status condition that skips his turn. Yep, resists, yep. Alright, charge spell. Let's generate some gems, because Laddie is our weakest attacker. Instead, we're going to be relying a lot on Bisecting Blade connecting. Attack plus 20, but it's only a 50-50 chance to hit. We got it. We got it. Boom, we did. Yep, there we go. A buff to defense. It's so funny because our best chance of beating Gladio is... What's his name? Dang it, I just forgot his name. Deal damage, inflict paralysis. Okay, there's no buff to damage. No buff to damage. Attack plus 12. Bolt damage. Okay, so attack is 26, but his defense is 23. We will be doing a minimum of 3 damage. But if we connect with this, we'll do 15. And if we do 15, he's actually... and it doesn't matter what we roll because he cannot be inflicted with paralysis. So this should get him down to 50. Nope, I forgot. He resists bolt damage. Dang it. Did that card say to buff all allies? It bluffed everyone. Maybe he still considers you allies. Yes, the happenstance card said buff all enemies and allies. The first happenstance card just buffed allies, not us, but the second one buffed everyone. So everyone has attack plus 3 for this round. Okay, he resists thunder, We don't need to refresh or heal, so the best thing for Laddie to do is charge spell. That'll get us back up to 4 gems, and here we go, Bisecting Blade. Come on, 5 or greater, with the 10 critical. Boom. Okay, he better start knocking people out in one hit. Oh wait, the battle's over. Cutscene.
Powerful attendant bears down with all his might, but Lavia holds firm.
Yeah, Lavia. It was the same scenario as Pixel Knight. But we just like bum rushed him and dealt him a ton of damage. He didn't even attack.
As the pair struggle, a section of the arena wall suddenly blows apart.
Oh, we really are in an anime. It's gonna be another monster. Yep.
A familiar beast emerges from the dust and the rubble. One you swear you saw in chains but a day ago. Whipped into a frenzy, the beast whirls a hammer over its head and charges you.
So do we have to take our damage into the battle? Nope, we're fully... Wait, of course we're fully healed. We never got attacked. See, and here we have... Now we have Gladio in our party again, so his attack is only 17, his defense is 17, and his health is 34. Oh, that's funny. Oh, but now this guy has 160. Ooh. Okay. Alright, Thunder Strike. Thunder Strike! Oh, we only rolled a 3, though. Pixel Knight, note to self, the burst of speed ability is awful in this game. Yeah, this guy doesn't resist bolt damage. Oh, he does. Okay. In that case, charge spell. And that'll give us one more gem, and now we can go here, and we can do Carnage. 25 fire damage. Honestly, it really doesn't seem that good since we already attack with 19 damage. And we have to roll at least a 3, which we got a 6. Oh, that's cool! They merge into one card for that attack? That's cool. I wonder if Laddie and Baron will get that down the line. Oh, trample didn't work. It missed. That's nasty, though. Half the HP. Okay. Oh, Southern Cross takes 6 gems? Oh, attack plus 20. Ooh, yeah. Alright, we're going to do charge. I really want to see that attack. So we're going to get him up to 6 gems. Nice, and we get an extra gem. Perfect. Okay. No, Bolt is not... Alright, let's do Stunning Blow. Again, I don't think we can paralyze him. We didn't roll high enough to see anyway. But we don't want to do bolt damage because he resists bolt damage. Resist. That wasn't bolt damage. What the heck? Okay, so that'll get us to 5, 6. Alright, so let's just do Fire Slash. And then, when we get the Gladio, we can do his huge attack plus 20 fire damage. Deal 10. Whoa! Friggin' seismic toss. Okay, Southern Cross. Oh, cool. Okay, plus 3 buff for everyone. Yep. Stab. He resists all of our other attacks. It's not even worth it. Let's have Laddie do a charge spell. That should get us back up to 4. And then we can have Lavia do 25 fire damage. Or we could do Fire Slash. Yeah, let's do Fire Slash. So this will just deal fire damage. Awesome, awesome. Excellent.
Favors the bold.
Okay, these bosses are too obsessed with buffs. Or at least my strategy so far has just been... Oh, I'm 1 short. Wow, that is the only good attack you have. Oh, here we go. Attack plus 4 damage. Yep, that's what we want. Ooh, with the critical. Add 3 to all allies. Okay, okay. The bummer was that removed his debuff for fire. Wait, what are we doing? Why is he healed? You'd no idea the maidens and their attendants were so powerful. Did we win? Yeah, the battle's over.
It has been a brutal struggle. The beast's knees buckle ever so briefly. There's your opening.
Go, Lavia!
Time for our special attack. The Crimson Maiden and his attendant
We are so in an anime. Yep. Why bother going through this? Just run the attack instead of making it the only option I have so that I have to do it.
Congrats. The Crimson Maiden and his stalwart attendant's attack slays the beast.
Yeah.
Gladio at last acknowledges the strength hidden within Lavia and recognizes him as an equal. Use that strength to fulfill your destiny, Gladio says with the air of a proud father seeing his own son off on an adventure.
Another point for Pixel Knight's theory. Minus 100 points for my theory that Gladio was a woman. That's right, Pixel Knight.
Prepares to address the raucous crowd. He places a hand to his chest, gathers himself for a moment, and begins his speech. He tells of his history with Gladio, who trained him ever since he was a young boy and raised him in place of his departed mother.
Okay, Pixel Knight. So it sounds like he's not birth father, but he's clearly a father figure. So yeah, points for Pixel Knight.
Gladio taught him the true meaning of strength, so he could one day fulfill the maiden's destiny. He molded Lavia into a strong young man from an immature boy. And now that his strength has been universally recognized, Lavia tells the crowd it is time to reveal a truth that he has kept well hidden.
He's actually a girl.
Lavia is in fact a woman, and thus the rightful successor to the Crimson Maiden.
All right. I did not see that one coming. I thought Gladio was going to be the woman. Interesting.
I, Lavia, swear to protect this land as its rightful maiden. She raises her relic to the sky. It begins to shine with a light to rival the sun overhead. Levia, the Crimson Maiden by name and birthright, basks in the glory her people rain down upon her.
Ah, okay.
Her small frame shows no sign of buckling under the immense responsibility that is now upon her. At last, she looks ready.
Chrysalis said, she's full of lies. Told us it wasn't the relic. Lied about being a boy. Man, we had a full Samus moment there.
Levia is mobbed by a heaving crowd of admirers. Seeing as they're bound to keep her busy for some time, and surmising that there will be other opportunities to borrow the relic, you decide to depart Hero's Dominion.
Aw. Levia was removed from the party. Lack is eligible for battle. You fought well. Leave Hero's Dominion with your head held high. Of course I will. Didn't lose a single fight. Okay. So the objective is just to leave? Okay, I can do that.
You bid the Dominion farewell as the sun dyes the sky a deep red in celebration of the Maiden's victory.
Where do you think you're going without saying goodbye?
The voice belongs to none other than the Crimson Maiden herself, guardian
Oh.
of the West Isle.
That's good. I did not recognize Levia for a second. I was like, who? Crimson Maiden? Who is this? And then I saw the hair, and I was like, aha!
She approaches you, serene and calm as can be. Who is this person? Was the belligerence and bravado all an act? A lie? Is there a difference?
So you can see in the pose on the card, she has her hands down over the relic, which is now shining white. Pixel Knight also didn't call that nice twist. See? That's why I like these games. There's just enough of a twist. Because I'm pretty sure we're getting the relic right here. Yep.
Acknowledging your friendship forged in the crucible of battle, she hands the Maiden's relic to Laddie. On the condition that should she become a maiden, Laddie must visit the Dominion and return the relic.
If I can do it, you can do it. Go get him, Laddie.
Levia gives a hearty wave as you push off from shore. Why would the Crimson Maiden, whose biggest wish has just come true, be crying? No. Her face must be catching the light of the setting sun. Yes, that's why her eyes look so red.
You obtain Crimson Memories Relic. An ardent, power-hungry youth in Crimson. And a stalwart, battle-worn Crimson Knight. A child studies the blade under the warrior's tutelage. The most powerful gather in a dominion ruled by might. A youth unable to become a maiden is at the mercy of destiny. And enters a tournament to prove her worth. At tourney's end, she is recognized as the Crimson Maiden. Her gallant figure is proof of a maiden's mettle. Tale of the Crimson Maiden. End. Well, that was cool. She challenged all comers with admirable bravery. Laddie gains memories of friendship. It is possible to customize the appearance of a certain game of certain okay. Yeah, changing appearances. Yep. That's just microtransactions. Ooh, double heal. You and Laddie learn a new link skill, double heal.
Laddie gazes out at the horizon from the deck of the ship as it rolls over the waves. The Crimson Maiden became a maiden in the end. You reckon Laddie's thinking about that journey and what it means for her. Laddie takes out her book and scribbles something inside, which she then shows to you.
Let's go back to Omega Village.
Apparently, Laddie's mother was the previous maiden of the village. There might be some clues as to how to become a maiden in the personal effects she left behind. Her proposal is as big as her handwriting is small. You nod firmly and cut the rudder in the direction of Omega Isle.
Return to Omega Village.
Lack claps you on the shoulder, saying, "You could do with a rest here and there yourself." It then starts to chant some kind of spell.
Hithery thither, there, here, this away, and that. Oh, are we gonna fast travel?
A spell on the ship, and suddenly the sails unfurl and the wheel begins to turn without any assistance. It explains that your ship can now travel to any island
Aha!
already visited on its own. You've never seen Lack look so smug with itself, and that's saying something.
You can now freely move to any island you've already visited when docked at an island pier. Very good. Travel to another island. Go to Omega Isle. And we'll save the game when we get there, and we will call it for tonight. But I gotta say, that was a fun little story. Oh, yes. Let's look at Livia and Galio's story. Okay. So let's go save the game. Save. Right there. Yes. We're still in... Okay, we're in an intermission. Okay. By the way, I still think Lack is the final boss. Curvy Gabes gave me trust issues with anything cute. Okay, now we want to go to collection and characters. A young boy known as the Crimson Maiden in the hero's dominion. He prefers his clothes light and his look conducive to fighting, and throws himself into battle dressed just so. Her strength acknowledged, she has become a true maiden. Nonetheless, the outfit she had long sought turns out to be itchy, so she runs amok in her old clothes except when welcoming guests. Gladio, a man in his prime. Really? He's kind of old. A man in his prime who serves the Crimson Maiden, armored from head to toe. His skills are reputed to be the fruit of many years' experience, and he's respected and feared by all in the land. He hardly ever removes his armor, for he is worried about the time when the Crimson Maiden was young and burst into tears at the sight of his face. He'll take that secret to his grave. Interesting. Interesting. Look at that scar. That scar goes all the way across his scalp, and then across his face and to the other side. Crystal says, I think Lack is just a hand puppet being controlled by an invisible wizard. Okay. that was fun. I really enjoyed going through that. So I'm glad we could do the whole story in one night. That's kind of rare. So all right, let's see who else is streaming. 3 hours is good. 3 hours is a good stream. We done good. So let's do a raid. Pixel Knight says, anytime I see a cute companion, my first thought is, okay, you can turn into an Eldritch abomination now. Yes, yes. That being said, I would buy a Lack plushie or an official hand puppet. Okay. Nobody that I'm following is still awake. Dash Magnum is streaming. Well, how come it's not showing up? Oh, I had to put on a filter? Okay, we rated Dash Magnum last week. Let's spread the love. Although I do like reading Dash Magnum. Don't be mistaken nothing. Let's raid let's raid JP, John Paul O'Keefe. He's playing my favorite game of all time, Tetris. So let's go visit JP. But thank you guys for coming. I had a great time. We'll do this raid. I'll be back maybe next Tuesday. I think I can make next Tuesday work. And then for sure next Friday, where we're going to be playing through the dungeon with 4 other friends. So definitely tune in for that. Oh, start raid. I thought I already did that. Now I have to wait 10 seconds. Pixel Knight says, good night. Remember to stay pixelated. The name Paul will give Spider-Man comic fan wars flashbacks. Spider-Man comic fans war flashbacks. Okay. All right, here we go with the raid. Thank you guys. We will see you next week.